Newsnight. My name is Kenneth. Jesse, here are stories making headlines tonight. Agitating port workers urged to resume operations while deal with Meridian Port Services is reconsidered by Thursday, July 14, 2022. Striking labor unions stage a walkout during meeting with government over their cost of living allowance as president of NAT accuses government of displaying mistrust in the use of legalities to call off their strike. Also coming up, Minority Caucus in Parliament kicks against alleged attempt by the Electoral Commission to compile a new voters register on the sole basis of the new Ghana card. An application by the Special Prosecutor Kisia Jabin to have the assets of the late former CEO of the Forestry Commission, Kojo Usu-Afriye, frozen has been dismissed by the Accra High Court. And later on the international front, a witness account at the 7th Capitol riot hearing reveals Trump might have been given instructions directly to extremist organizations. We have details coming up shortly. Stay with us. Hello again. The Director General of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Michael Luguje, has called on the demonstrating workers to allow vessels to dock and process them while they resolve their issues by Thursday, 14th July 2022. He addressed the agitating workers on Tuesday after they ceased all activities at the Tema and Takoradi ports over unfavorable working conditions.
It would be recalled that in 2015, the board and management of Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority decided to build another terminal at Tema Harbour. Per the deal, Meridian Port Services (MPS) was to build the Terminal 3 project and then operate it to offset its investment. In subsequent years, it emerged that the concession agreement was bad, as the deed of amendment provided that during the term, MPS should have the exclusive right to provide services to any eligible vessel entering the operational area. This meant the GPHA staff would have less work to do, thus affect revenue massively. The GPHA workers have therefore been agitating for the contract to be varied. Tuesday's demonstration was another call to demand a relook at the MPS deal. Director General of the GPHA, Michael Luguje.
The message is that all of us from this point have to return to our various workplaces. Now, this message we are passing on to you and appealing to you to go back to work. If we don't go back to work and we decide to pitch some here, and then business doesn't go on for the next up to Thursday, trust me, even when the signing comes, and you are then resuming to clear the backlog, you are going to bear the pain.
Michael Luguje assured the workers negotiations had begun, but they needed at least 24 more hours to get agreements signed.
The information that was passed to your executives was that we had the month of June to pursue the process, and that we expected that by July let me make it very clear. We cannot get the signing done today. I need to be very honest with you. But the discussions we have had, we have Thursday morning as the official date to communicate this signing.
The new local union chairman, Emmanuel Ahin-Yang, and his executives, both from Tema and Takrady, have vowed to reverse the MPES GPHA concession agreement and its current negative impact on the workforce since June 2019.
Let's now take you to Parliament, where the minority caucus in the House is kicking against an alleged attempt by the Electoral Commission to compile a new voters' register on the sole basis of the new Ghana card. According to the minority leader Haruna Idrisu, a new register on this basis is a wasteful expenditure and will disenfranchise a lot of Ghanaians who have not registered or secured their cards yet.
Our understanding is that the Electoral Commission is seeking to make the national ID card the only source of justification to register onto the voter ID card as their basis, the voter register. I repeat it, the Electoral Commission is seeking through a constitutional instrument that may come before Parliament, the Subsidiary Legislation Committee and Parliament as an institution to replace the voter register of 2020 and to make the requirement for getting onto the voter register the national ID card as the sole reference document and justification to get onto the national voter register. Our concern primarily is that in the past, since 1993, voter registration exercises that have been undertaken, you normally have the provision of a guarantor of other persons guaranteeing for persons to get onto the voter register insofar as it is established that they are Ghanaian and are of age and of sound mind and to participate in Ghana's electoral process to vote and be voted for. Now, our understanding further, and this is our primary technical concern, is that the national ID card, arguably a public good, is not increasingly available to deserving Ghanaians who deserve to have it. There are many Ghanaians who are still struggling to have access to a national ID card legitimately. That public good must be made increasingly available to every qualified Ghanaian.
Meanwhile, some minority MPs have expressed disappointment in Ken Ofori-Attah's postponement of the mid-year budget presentation. They again repeated calls for him to be dismissed by the president.
This man should be sacked immediately because he has superintended over a mess economy. The same person will come to the house and start quoting biblical things from Isaiah, etc. But as we speak now, he is superintendent over 80% to GDP in this country. The same person who has taken us to this level, who has skyrocketed, prices of goods and what have you, fuel prices, etc. He has nothing to offer, and I'm sure that is all the more reason why they cannot come tomorrow for this. But we are pushing them to come because we are determined to rise by 23rd of this month. We have a lot of activities to do in our various constituencies, and that must happen by tomorrow.
The Minister for Finance was supposed to appear before this House. What it tells me is that the Minister is not a team player. He doesn't need to be there before he can fulfill his constitutional responsibility. He's supposed to present the mid-year budget for the purposes of the entire government and the country. So must it take just the minister to be present before they can continue with the so-called negotiation and discussions they have had with the IMF? So one, it is a clear indication that he has never taken Parliament serious. It is a clear indication that he has never taken this country serious. It is a clear indication that he has no plan, no vision. To be very honest, a serious country and a serious government, this man should no longer even carry himself as an employee of the Ministry of Finance, let alone the ministry. The problems of this country are caused by four people: the president, the vice president, the minister for finance, and the unofficial prime ministers we have in this country.
Thank you very much.
Let's stay a while in Parliament as ranking member on the Finance Committee of the House, Kisel Atoforsen, has told Metro TV that the Finance Minister's inability to present the 2022 media budget review on Wednesday as originally scheduled shows how unprepared the government is in the face of the worsening economic conditions.
How disappointed is the minority side following the Finance Minister's decision to postponed his appearance before the House?
I'm hearing that they've changed the date from 15th, 13th to 25th. I'm also hearing that they are very unprepared and that they are now going to get prepared. So it surely tells you the state of the Ghanaian economy, where we have the government very unprepared to the extent that they cannot even deliver a media review. The numbers must be there. I mean, this is the first time in so many years that we are going to do media review after the 15th of this month, because it is clear that in as much as they have up to end of this month, the minister must first deliver it and give us opportunity to debate.
Still in Parliament, Deputy Finance Minister Abena Asare says the decision by government to postpone the delivery of the media budget review is born out of the urgent need for government to conclude preliminary talks with officials of the IMF before the statement can be delivered.
The IMF were in town last week and they are supposed to leave on Wednesday. And usually when they come, this very mission is for data collection. And we need all the space and time to enable us give them all the data they are requesting for. So that's how come we are asking Parliament to postpone the mid-year so that when they leave on Wednesday, and then quickly we can start looking at it. Though we are almost done with it, we'll start looking at it, and then hopefully by the 25th, we will bring it to Parliament. This first mission is more of data collection. And so that is exactly what they are doing. And like I said, with data collection, you need to give them everything that they are requesting for. So we need that time and space to attend to them. Just like you're doing an audit, you need to attend to whatever it is that they are asking for. And so once you do that and it's completed, we will come to Parliament and also submit the mid-year.
Away from Parliament, an independent presidential candidate in the 2020 general elections, Kofi Cranton, has added his voice to calls for the resignation of the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
I'm here to call for the resignation of Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia as the chairman of the Economic Management Team. Barring his willingness resignation, I call on every member of Parliament to act for the good of our nation and remove him from office. So yes, I agree with former President in calling for the resignation of or removal of Dr. Bawumia and the Economic Management Team, but I in no way endorse its replacement with equal incompetence from the NDC. Will this new IMF money build new schools, new hospitals, innovation centers of technology and commerce, or provide you with living wage jobs? Will it create jobs, prosperity, and security for Ghanaians and offer the youth a future that they can treasure, or will it once again pad the bank accounts and endorse the luxurious lifestyles of the NDC, MPP, and their industrial cronies who support them and pay them homage?
Let's take you back to Parliament, where the Speaker of the House, Alban Bagbin, has set up an ad hoc committee to investigate the recent challenges facing the National School Feeding Program and the National Buffer Stock Company. The move follows the recent strike by some school feeding caterers over non-payment of feeding arrears and challenges senior high schools are currently facing due to lack of food supply.
Let it not be said that we are part of the generation of leaders who supported this indecisiveness in standing for the protection and development of the child. If we are committed to dispelling this notion, the counter-narrative to this must begin with us. Consequently, I am directing leaders of the following 5 committees to constitute an ad hoc committee to investigate the activities of these 2 organizations and report to Parliament on the feasibility, sustainability, and state of affairs of the 2 programs. In view of the fact that I had earlier on referred some matters to these committees, I direct that the ad hoc committee reports to the House before the end of October this year.
In a related development, students from many senior high schools across the northern region continue to feed themselves due to insufficient food supply from government and the industrial action by the Public Sector Workers Union. Even though government promised to distribute food items to secondary schools today, a visit to many schools up north revealed otherwise.
This morning, I visited a number of schools within the northern region, especially Tamal Metro and Sanarwo municipality. And the situation as it was yesterday is still the same thing. Because I visited Ambaria Senior High School, where I was told that they haven't received anything yet since yesterday. Currently, I am at Business Senior High School, what the school we call BISCO. And they complained to me yesterday that they were not having anything to eat. And the situation is still the same thing. The students are still feeding themselves on the school campus. And I even spoke to some of them who said they are living on more than 15 Ghana cedis per day, which is a very big challenge to them. So the situation in the northern region is still very difficult, like I mentioned yesterday. I also visited Tamale Senior High School, where I was told that they have not also received anything. So basically, it is like none of the schools within the northern region have received any food items yet from the government. And what they were going through yesterday or some days back is still the same situation they are going through.
That was our resident correspondent in the northern region. Now, the various striking labor unions have boycotted their meeting with government over their cost of living allowance. The meeting ended abruptly after the unions staged a walkout. The president of NAT has accused government of displaying mistrust in the use of legalities to call off their strike. It began with teachers who declared strike over their cost of living allowance. They argue the cost of living has skyrocketed and they can no longer cope. Their meeting with government ended inconclusively and their strike continues to bite hard.
What's happened today is very unfortunate. As what we can say now is that our negotiation has come inconclusive and we are still on strike. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, when you say it has come... We are still on strike. That's all that he has said. We don't want to give any further detail.
But you are boycotting the meeting
now. No, we are not boycotting the meeting. There are other people still in there.
Why are you leaving?
That one, we'll talk to you about it later. But for now, the strike is still in force and it ends there.
Teachers are not in this alone. The health workers, including those belonging to the Ghana Medical Association, the Registered Nurses and Midwives Association, have also made similar demands. 20% cost of living allowance. The lifesavers have threatened to embark on a strike if their demands are not met. And if they do, the consequences will be dire.
We're all waiting for the government to give us positive results or response. But as of now, we've not heard anything from the government. That is why we are adding our voice.
So workers of the Land Commission fall under the Public Service Workers Union. The union has indicated that they too will strike on 19th July. If this pulls through, that will mean if you wish to register your land property or in need of land-related valuation services, you may have to hold on.
Because people are not happy, the system is not fair, and there's no equity in the condition of service of public servants in the country. The point is that people are already annoyed.
Between the labor unions and government still remains inconclusive after the various unions boycotted their meeting with their employers.
I want government to actually find solution to this issue, to avoid further actions from other sector workers of this very country. The earlier they find solution to this matter, it will end all the hula baloo in this very country.
The issue is that government maintains that we want to meet them
and start negotiating. But we can't do this because we are constrained under the law not to negotiate when one party is on strike. And so organized labor suggested that we adjourn the meeting and do more talking for them to call up the strike, and then we start the negotiation. So that is where we are now. The call was from organized labor for us to adjourn so that we do more engagement. They themselves are going to talk to the teacher unions. We ourselves will also do same, and then have a meeting, start negotiating for a better conditions of service for Ghana workers.
Will they ever come to a mutual agreement? Time is the best answer. Kenneth, Jesse, Metro News, Accra. Still to come in this bulletin, residents of Domikitase are finally getting good roads after years of neglect. That's what's coming up after the break.
Okay, contractors ni bi wo ha, omo start here adwuma no. Na say ye de sika no ema omo a. Ye de sika no ema omo wi a. Omo buy kwan so 1 week 2 weeks no bo jai. Nti ye me ka che contractor bia ye de adwuma no man say ye pa ne che we sre no. E kwan wo ya che.
Again, if you just joined us, this is Newsnight on Metro Television with me, Kenneth. Jesse, let's bring you more stories. As for years, residents of Domikitase have longed for good roads, often mounting pressure on the government to get it fixed. Finally, a contract has been awarded for the construction of the over 23-kilometer stretch, and soon the residents will be relieved. My colleague Zoe Anita Ode visited the area and reports.
If you've ever been to the Kwabenya to Kitase Road, you realize that driving on the road is as though driving on crates of eggs. The roads are full of potholes with so many to count, and this is very discomforting as motorists, pedestrians and commuters are very worried of the poor nature of the road. Even if you do not use a car, the nature of the dust has great impact on you. However, government has awarded contracts for the road to be fixed, and I'm here at the community to speak to people on what they feel about the contract since it has finally been awarded for years.
Every year, bia aban bia ba no so obeye onye aban bia ba no so obeye onye e se unam ekwan we so a unam na utayetu na obodwent etu e se ya kan wasem sabre
meto aduane wa ha wo de aduane be so mfuturo nko a atams kra na eye mahomete se meto because obi beto aduane na wo hwe ne maho na mfuturo aye ho sa wo se enye fine se obeto nti ekwan ne de edinyankopɔ din srɛ mo meye mayen.
After several protests, the demands are now being met. Work has begun on the 23-kilometer stretch. It is touted as Adwoa Safo's legacy project. Residents say, although work has begun, they want contractors to ensure it is completed as soon as possible.
Contractors ni bi wo ha, omo start here adwuma no. Na say ye de sika no ema omo a the scan omo wi a omo buy kwan so 1 week 2 weeks no bo jai nti me ka che contractor bia ye de djuma me say ye pa ne che we sre no e kwan we ya che nti ye de djuma no ma no a ombo modern say no be ha
aban so ye be sre say ode friend say ode na ho ode be hyem na djuma na ombe ye no ode akade bia contractors ne be hia no omo on saka se na be ya on so betima yi on ye no wa ye kwan ni ya man.
The project costs $1.65 million and is funded by the Kuwait Fund for Arab Economic Development and the Ghanaian government. Although residents are happy that work has begun, they have other concerns. They want their Member of Parliament to show up. Meanwhile, spokesperson for the Gender and Social Protection Minister and the Member of Parliament for Domikitase, Nana Dobin, hinted that although the MP is not available, several projects are still ongoing in the constituency.
In as much as she is not around, this road project is testament of the work that she has done and continues to do for and on behalf of the good people of this constituency. Well, for some time now, she hasn't been around, and well, there are genuine concerns of the constituents as to her absence. But the bottom line is that even though she's not around, several projects are ongoing in the constituency. She is in touch with the relevant agencies and bodies that, have to ensure that some work goes on in the constituency.
Contractors, however, say the work on the Domikitasi Road will be completed in 24 months.
Now, according to some citizens of Bauleshi, the Ghana Grid Company threatened to demolish their structures sited under its high-tension lines in the Ayawaso West municipality. However, Gridco did not do this demolition, but rather the MCE, who did not inform them about it. Others are also saying that neither Gridco nor the MCE informed them about the tearing down of their structures.
Gridco has in the past warned Ghanaians of the health dangers associated with living under transmission lines. Also, under the Transmission Line Protection Regulation, the act is an offense backed by law. But areas like Nojolo and Bauleshi, where major transmission lines are found, have squatters largely settled there for business, shelter, among others. Earlier this morning, land guards and police officers stormed Nojolo and Bauleshi to demolish structures situated under transmission lines. The residents are, however, blaming the MC for Ayawaso West, Sandra Hinkwa, for spearheading the demolition without informing them prior to time.
More than 20 years in here. Ana yawa hanuma ye juma kakra obi anhu ye tiapo fine but en say glico ana say viare for edie but omo anka hwe ana asaso no say legonfo dia enye yankwa na yeti hanum na ye nuane mo bi siti enim ha ya omo abesa omo wie ye no say enim say mo pami a aha nyina e beda say yesi glico dia eni kwan say obi abetna items ase but right now no on say omo dia garage askafo dia garage aja ahiafo enti sese omo skato omo nyina no sese no omo nyina da na akronfo omo wia
langard for na di dia abo mi langard for ewo ho ana police for eden ewo ho say sabi samusi higher attention enya mafita for betina ase a ayeden ana mutubi ma cardless omutina ase omo nya nipa MC no ye ko no fi several times o ka che say sika no wagide da ye po ono obetue
sika ben no wa These are what the citizens are saying. They are saying that the land originally belongs to the Legon people, and this demolition, Gridco is not responsible for it, but the MC. Earlier on, they went to the MC's office, and they were told that she told them that the demolition is going to happen, come rain or shine. She can't do anything about it. And they were here just this dawn, and task force people were here, land guards, none of an official of Gridco or whoever was here to do the demolition. The police was here as well. Some of them even had wounds on them. We'll try to follow up on this with the MC or the authorities who are responsible, because they are saying that it's an issue of personal interest than an issue of life threats or danger to their health. So I'm here at Bauleshi reporting for Metro News. I'm Esther Japan.
Thanks, Esther. Let's talk politics tonight as ahead of the MPP general elections scheduled for the 15th and 16th of July 2022. Here are the profile of the aspirants for the general secretary position. Let's start with Charles Bisu, and he is a presidential staffer and MPP stalwart. He was appointed as the secretary to the Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining. He's married to the Deputy Information Minister, Nana Dokua Esiama Ejei. Frederick Opariansa is the next person, and he was born on 5th September 1968. He's a Ghanaian politician and the member of the 7th Parliament of the 4th Republic of Ghana, representing the Suhum constituency in the Eastern region. He obtained a BSc in Electrical Engineering from the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Idrisu Musa is the next person, and he is the immediate past mayor of the Tamale Metropolitan Assembly. John Boadu is the incumbent. He's an accountant, a quantitative analyst, a political realist, and a father of four. He comes from Asin Fosu in the Central Region. He attained a GCE Advanced Level Certificate from the Opokuwari Secondary School in Kumasi in the Ashanti Region. He read Bachelor of Science in Business Administration at the University of Ghana. He worked as the General Manager of Fab Limited, also the Financial Controller at FM Woodtech Limited in the 1990s, and he's currently the incumbent General Secretary of the ruling New Patriotic Party. Justin Kodua Frimpong is a lawyer and a member of the Ghana Bar Association. He was born on the 14th of November 1982 in the Ashanti region. He attended Opokuwari Senior High School in Kumasi and went to Hackney Community College in London, where he obtained a certificate in Information Communication Technology. He again enrolled at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, where he studied land economy. He went on to read law at KNUST before being admitted into the Ghana School of Law. He also holds a certificate in financial management from the Institute of Commercial Management, Bournemouth, United Kingdom. Ramsey Ahmed Ajiman Prempe is a former constituency chairman and polling station executive. He claims to be a representative of the grassroots of the New Patriotic Party. Let's have a conversation on the back of this. And Dr. Kwesi Amachi Boateng is a senior political science lecturer at the University of Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, and he joins me to weigh the chances of the aspirants of the General Secretary position. Good evening, Doc. Welcome to the show. First of all, let's talk about the incumbent, John Boadu. What are his chances? Can he be retained?
Let me say good evening to your viewers. It's something, actually, but I don't expect John Boadu to retain his seat. You know, coming into the limelight as the Secretary General through, if you like, some development in the party that many people felt were unfortunate. And if you like, the one who had been voted for by the party, you know, was removed under conditions that were not supported by the party's own constitution. And so he was becoming the beneficiary and, if you like, the establishment person.
Right.
And going ahead at that time, you know, the NDC was in a terrible shape and Ghana was ready for a change. So the, you know, success of the party at that time will be attributed to, you know, any special hard work that came from him. Going forward, in the elections of 2020, we saw really, you know, the party in office and on the basis of their performance,
right,
the reaction of candidates, and the party lost a good number of seats in the parliament.
Right.
So currently, too, the politics in the party, you know, is interesting because there's this understanding that, you know, just like the same, you know, Nanado's campaign President Kufuor of trying to impose candidates on the party when he was leaving office. Nanado also stands accused. Nanado's leadership stands accused that he's trying to also, you know, keep some people there, if you like, to protect their interest. So this has not played out loudly, but it's ongoing on the quiet in the party. And so I expect people to rebel against John Boadu, to see him as an establishment person, and so to be ready to vote him out. I don't expect him to win.
Right. Okay, Doc, let's talk about the front runners. Who are the top three?
As it is, you know, given the way things are going, the other time at an FM studio. The host, said that things were not really playing out quietly in the MPP, and that even if you're a media person and you come out so strongly in support of particular candidates, that they come at you in certain ways. And so people have been playing their cards on the quiet, if you like. People who, in a way, felt like associating themselves with other potential flag bearers. On the basis of this, I think they are taking it part and doing their campaign, underground. So as it is, it's really difficult to pinpoint.
Would you be surprised if John Buedo is retained?
I'll be terribly surprised, actually.
Why?
I like to believe that the party is in for change, to change the faces of the leadership of the party that have brought them into the terrible disrepute. The party and the government of the day is in now. I don't believe the rank and file of the party are not up to date about conditions in Ghana, and so obviously in an organization like that, you're going for change. You want to renew yourself completely, and one way of doing that is to replace, if you like, people at the top hierarchy.
Right, and some will also say that he has supervised 2 election victories in 2016 and in 2020. Doesn't that put him ahead? At least he's a proven winner.
The performance in the 2020 elections is a lot to be desired, and I don't think this is what anybody will want to, so if you like, associate himself with. They saw the fortunes of the party winning, and from that time to date, it has been going down, and the government's legitimacy is at an all-time low, and obviously he is part of it. I don't think this is a winning candidate.
Okay, Dr. Kwesi Amachibuatin, thank you very much for speaking to us tonight.
You're most welcome.
Right. He's a lecturer at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Let's bring in more stories as an application by the Special Prosecutor, Kisie Jabin, to have the assets of the late CEO of the Forestry Commission, Kojo Owusu Efriye, alias Sir John, frozen, has been dismissed by the Accra High Court. And in other news, the Supreme Court has ordered the Fix the Country convener, Oliver Barker-Vormawor, to pay the 10,000 Ghana cedis fine to the Ghana Revenue Authority.
Per the rulings of the Accra High Court, the request by the Special Prosecutor, Kisie Jabin, pleading to freeze assets of the late Chief Executive Officer of the Forestry Commission, Kojo Owusu Efriye, also known as Sir John, cannot be enforced. Justice Efia Sewa Asari-Botwe's ruling also revealed that the Special Prosecutor should have filed his application using the procedure against property where a person who dies or abscond can fall liable in this quest instead of the path he charted. These assets include his property at Sakumono and portions of a land at the Achimota Forest. The Office of the Special Prosecutor in the latest epistle has hinted of his intention to challenge the decision by the Accra High Court that bars him from freezing assets of the late CEO of the Forestry Commission. In his statement, the Special Prosecutor Kisie Jabin noted the country risks losing the fight against corruption if the ruling of the court is left to stand. Meanwhile, at the Supreme Court, a 7-member panel has ordered lead convener of the pressure group #Fix the Country, Oliver Barker-Vormawor, to pay the Ghana Revenue Authority a 10,000 Ghana cedis damage over what it has described as a frivolous application brought before the court. This came on the back of a case filed by Benjamin Darko of #Fix the Country, Democracy Hub, LBG, and Democratic Accountability Lab, asking the Supreme Court to punish the Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority for going ahead with the implementation of the e-levy policy despite an impending interlocutory application that was filed by some 3 members of Parliament.
Return from the break with the latest in business. Stay tuned.
Good evening and welcome back to Newsnight Live on Metro TV. My name is Winston Taki. And now to a first business story. The economic situation in the country has made a rippling effect on local manufacturing companies. To ensure that these companies survive, they have been called to provide support through tax incentives and more.
Well, we are trying to survive in the hard times that Ghana is going through now. We all know with the exchange rate going up, the drop in the benchmark and the fuel crisis we are going through now. Every day fuel prices are going up. But we are managing. We have to continue with the struggle. Our margins are shrinking, but we have to go with the flow. We are made in Ghana and we have no choice but to go with Ghana. If you want to really revive the economy, I think we need to look at Ghana manufacturing. The government needs to support Made in Ghana, do better incentives, give more land, more discounts on ECG, more discounts on Ghana water, and support in taxes. If you don't do that, we cannot have Made in Ghana. Look at Russia today. Russia is able to face the world because they have Made in Russia. We need to have something like that where we can say, look, we don't need you, you need us. So we have Made in Ghana. We have everything made in Ghana, and we are proudly Ghanaians.
Now, away from that, the private transport operations and GPRTU are threatening to increase transport fares in the coming week. The proposed increment comes on the back of the hikes in prices of petroleum products and spare parts, coupled with other nuisance taxes. The driver unions are urging the general public to cooperate with them when they witness an increment in fares as being discussed with relevant stakeholders. They are further cautioning government not to come with the toll booth operations in the country. Now, we have been joined on phone by the Public Relations Officer of the Concerned Drivers Union, David Aguado, for more details. Good evening and welcome to Newsnight.
Good evening and thank you for inviting us into the news.
Great. Why the proposed transport fare increment?
Thank you very much. The why is because of the high cost of fuel. The other time that we increased transport fare, we were buying diesel or fuel at 11 cedis, 25 pesos. But as I speak with you, we are buying it for 14 cedis, 59 pesos respectively. And that is why we want to increase our transport fare by 20% on Monday. Because spare parts have also increased. And everything around our transport industry have gained increase. So we also have to increase our transport fare to meet the demand.
Have you been able to have any consultation with government in regards to whether they intend to reduce some taxes or possibly on petroleum products?
We did, but it falls in the dark or in the back of the dark. As I speak with you, the next window is coming. On the 15th of this very month, there will be another increment on fuel price, in which we are kicking against it. You see, this 2 weeks something is now affecting our business badly. Government must find a way of doing it different way this time around. Because if it will take us at least 3 months for review, we also know that either we increase transport fare or we decrease it. But here lies the case, every 2 weeks, fuel price will go up. Every 2 weeks, it's affecting us a lot.
Then again, you are hinting of resisting should the government decide to reinstate the toll booth. Why the case?
Yes. Before the scrapping off of the toll booth, government engages with the transport operators. And that very day, I quite remember vividly that it was GPRTU General Secretary that read the press for us. And we were told the toll booth will be abolished for e-levy. Now the e-levy has taken place, and we want to reinstate the toll booth again without informing we the operators. And that is why we are saying if government is coming with it. Before they came out with this e-levy something, we suggested that because on the fuel, we have road fund that we have been paying 48 pesos. They should add 2 pesos to it for making it 50 pesos, but it doesn't happen that way. They have to engage us for us to, say something or do something about it. But other than that, when they bring it, it can work because we are the people that pays it. And if we agree or we tell our drivers not to do, they will not do it.
Grateful for your time.
Thank you very much.
David Aguado is the PRO of the Concerned Drivers Association here in Ghana. That'll be it for business here on News 9. My name is Winston Taki. We take a break. Sports is up next.
My name is Phil John Quate, and it's time for your sports on News Night. The World Athletics Championship will take place starting on Friday in Oregon, in the United States of America. According to the General Secretary of the Ghana Athletics Association, Bar Fuseni, the athletes will be ready to make Ghana proud in the United States.
What would be a very strong word, but I wish we could have done more for the athletes. But the little that they have gotten, I think the little can go far, That's why I said they've gotten a bit more preparation than they usually do. But Oliver Twist, we can only ask for more. But currently, what they've gotten is so far the best in terms of preparation going into such competitions like the World Championships. They are very much aware because where they've reached in terms of performance, they know what the stakes are. And they know the benefits of winning, or they know the benefits of getting into the finals at the World Championship. That's the best, that's the highest level of athletics in the world, and everybody will be there. All the managers, all the sponsors, all the kit manufacturers, all the meet organizers, everybody will be there to see. And if any athletes who want to get more per diem or more appearance fee, or more shoe or kit contracts, this is the place that the athlete needs to show his powers or to show to the world that he have arrived. And I have no doubt in my mind that these Ghanaian athletes have reached this stage not by mistake, but by their performance and by their merits. Okay. And they are going to do Ghana proud at that level.
Well, that's your sports. My name is Phil John Quate. Up next, entertainment. Ken, we're talking about the World Music Expo in Lisbon, Portugal.
Thank you very much, Johnny. Entertainment news is next. Ghanaian band Fra are set to perform at the 2022 edition of World Music Expo to be held in Portugal later this year in October. The band has been speaking to Metro News about the excitement to be part of such a huge event.
Fra Band, an eccentric six-man band which has consistently mesmerized Ghanaians and music lovers with great Afrocentric songs, have been rewarded with a performance slot at one of the biggest music festivals in the world, the World Music Expo. Selim Gogo, a band member, expressed the group's excitement to be named as part of this year's edition.
This is one opportunity we've been looking forward to for some time now. We've actually applied a couple of times before, but we were not selected, and this year we decided to give another shot, and I think we, by God's grace, I would say, we were picked. So we've been anticipating this for a while, and now it's here for us, and we are going to put in our all to make sure that we make the best out of this opportunity for the band.
He further stated that this goes to show that their works are being appreciated and a sign of elevation in their musical journey.
For this represents an opportunity and a chance for us to move to the next step when it comes to our music career. A musician's dream.
Next. A former Twitter employee who worked on the team responsible for platform and content moderation policies throughout 2020 and 2021 said they were concerned that former President Trump seemed to be talking directly to extremist organizations on Twitter and giving them directives